Barbershop Conversation. Guys, feel free to hit the subscribe button. So, I want to do a part 2 on Gilbert Arenas' podcast and Underdog having a great stake in it. And I believe I'm one of the few people on YouTube that can actually talk about this. And I know this conversation is above many people because you've never been sought after. And I'm not saying this disrespectfully. I'm talking about from like major corporations. And I think I need to add some clarity. If you've been following me for some time, you know the impact I had from 2020, from 2023. Prior to that, 2016 to 2019 during COVID with my interviews. And I had the unique ability of dominating an entire sports conversation. And we'll just, corporations, companies, sponsors came after me with large sums of money. You know, I've talked about major corporations in the past, but I don't want to name names because I want to make this I want to keep the conversation about the business, what I'm talking about. And sometimes you got to realize that you've created the waffles in Roscoe's. Do you understand? Sometimes you got to realize you invented the wheel. Sometimes you got to realize you invented the air people breathe. And the point I'm making is Gilbert Arenas created something that was generational, bigger than him, and could have gone on to literally create its own sports station like an ESPN. They could have been an anchor, like how Sports Center was an anchor that created ESPN, or how now the commentary sports, like First Take and what they did on Fox Sports with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, it anchored an entire network. When Fox was coming up, I remember on Thursdays, you had Living Single, Martin, and then at 9 you had New York Undercover. It anchored an entire network. When I was a young kid, 8 p.m. on Thursdays to 9 p.m. on Thursdays anchored NBC. And that was the Cosby Show and what's the college show? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm drawing a blank on the name. But with Jasmine Guy. I had a crush on Jasmine Guy when I was a young man. A very, very young man. And they went to Hillman University. And the point I'm making is not everyone in life creates a Gil's Arena. Gil's Arena could have been the anchor for the new ESPN in the commentary space, in the sports space. I think Gil, and I hope to, if y'all know this, send this to him. I don't know Gilbert Arenas at all. I know Nick Young. I covered him when I worked for the newspaper, so I know Nick Young very well. Coached against him in the Say No. Amazing talent. I think he could have been like a B-level Kobe Bryant, C-level Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter-ish, freakish. Y'all. I know many of y'all are laughing, but go YouTube his high school. You know, his high school reel. I know Brandon Jennings since he was 13, 14 years old. And I know I'm going to run into Gilbert Arenas, and I'm looking forward to having this conversation. So, no, I turned down the deals because I enjoy doing it on me time. I enjoy, I just thoroughly enjoyed doing it when I wanted to do it. And my advice to Gilbert Arenas, because I think the show is incredible, and while you're in the space, while you're still in your pre-prime as it pertains to this content creation, you got to understand two things in that contract. What's the buyout for owner for to buy it back? And if you can't buy it back, what's the competition clause in your contract? Meaning, when can you build a new one? How can you build a new one? Separation. Because what happens with these networks is you can't work for another network, because it will be like you going to like Pepsi going to Coca-Cola, you know what I mean? And the branding. So let's say you were the executive in advertising. You would take your advertising ideas across the street to Pepsi that would exceed Coca-Cola, and they don't want that. So many times that's typically what happens. So I would try and negotiate with Underdog and see if I can buy it back, that 50%, because I'll be honest, man, like the streets are in a drought. I'm being honest. That show was electric, man. And how I know it was electric, because I would rather listen to them than listen to music. I mean, I could put Joe and Jaheim on shuffle because I'm working from 9 to 1:30 before I go pick up my kids from school. But now just Kennedy from school because I homeschool now. And I could put Joe and Jaheim on shuffle and literally listen to them all day. La Russell, I can put La Russell, Joe, Jaheim, that's kind of my lane, and just go a whole day. I can listen to it for 5 hours. And matter of fact, I listened to Ghetto Love last night on the way back from Westlake High School. It was a 48-minute drive, and I listened to Jaheim's first album. I put that on repeat, I'm not wilding out like I used to. No more. So that's the advice I would give Gil's Arenas, because people were going to say, while I agree with him, he didn't understand, and maybe he didn't have the finances to produce it. I don't know. I can't speak on it, but I'm speaking from a space of figure out how to buy it back, because what you got is still relevant and still percolating in these YouTube streets. I think it's the best sports show. It's the best sports show, period. They used to have a show called The Best Damn Sports Show, period. But Gil's Arena is the best sports show out. It comes on at a perfect time. The kids are in school. So every adult can listen to it as a podcast at work, like me, or at home. It's just the best show. You got 5 literally different Avengers. They get along. They can articulate themselves without wanting to fight. You get what I'm saying? It's 5 men with different perspective, and it doesn't turn into, well, F you then, let's go outside to the parking lot. No, finish your argument, because I disagree with it. And that's what makes it, listen, it's the best show, period. It's the best. Honestly, it might be the best show on TV. Like, that show was that good. It was man, listen. I'm being honest. I'm a music guy. I pay $12, $13 a month to listen to Tidal all day. And it's and they only coming on 2 days now. It's like, man. But anyways, man, that's my suggestion. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully I can talk to Gil, because I have the experience in terms of turning it down, in terms of building something that was very significant in a niche sport in 2025 like boxing is. I I was one of the four cylinders in boxing as it pertains to media, and it wasn't even close. So my time is up now. My time has come and gone because I didn't leverage it and build out. And that was a choice that I made. I could have built out and created more shows. Like I could have created a DB show. I could have created a Kyle show and dominated the sport. I could have created a Patty Dean show. And I thought about that. But when Lincoln says he wanted to play basketball, I was done, you know. And but Gil's Arena got to come back 4 days a week, though. You have to come back 4 days a week, and you got to figure out how to buy back from underdog, and that's the in reality that's the problem with your success. Now, who's not under contract with underdog? Gil. Because you can literally sell them the show based on the original contract and then recreate the show with someone else. That's basically what Skip Bayless did with Fox, you know. So you work with Skip Bayless, so you find a way to legally recreate what he did on First Take. He did, what was the name? Unnecessary? Undisputed. So, and now you are friends with Skip Bayless. I've never watched your football show, but I know it's on. But I ain't gonna lie, man. NBA's coming Tuesday, and Gil's Arena has, man, not only are they funny, not only are they characters, and I say characters as in a positive term, they're insightful. They're geniuses on their craft. Like, I love how Kenyon Martin is like the big brother or the uncle, you know. I like how Rashad McCants is the cousin that doesn't want to go get a job but keeps on having ideas about creating a business. You know, he's the black sheep in the family, you know, and he's misunderstood. I love how Nick Young is the playful cousin. He's always had that personality, you know. Brandon Jennings is the middle brother that wants to be better than every brother, you know. And Gil's Arena, and Gil is the personality that keeps the glue together, you know. Publicly, he's hilarious. Behind the scenes, he's always wanting to hang out and keep family and friends together, cooking at home, you know. I would consider myself more of the Gil. Like, I'm funny, and I'm always the one that's sending out text messages to my core people, calling, telling them I love them, but publicly I'm always snapping jokes and having a great time, and you know. But they're special. It's the greatest show on TV. It's better than First Take. It's better than Undisputed. It's better than Sports Center. It is the best show on the internet. It is the best show. There's nothing close to it. Nothing close to it. And I want nothing more than Gil's Arena 4 days a week. I'm being honest, man. You know what I mean? It's going back to New York Undercover. I was disappointed when it ended. When New York Undercover ended, I was like, man, it's over. You know, so it's kind of like Godfather of Harlem for me. Like, I watched that because it's filmed in Harlem, and I was born in Harlem, and you know, it's filmed in my grandfather's the exterior is filmed in my grandfather's building. 101, 125 West 147th Street, Esplanade Gardens, the exterior. That's the building is, and um, you know, so um, so for real, I know we're critiquing and saying he should have did this and he should have did that. I'll be honest. I want Gil's Arena 4 days a week, and I know I'll probably only watch it twice a week or listen to it twice a week, but it's just an incredible show, dog. And hopefully y'all send this to Gil's Arena. You know, y'all send this to him because maybe the five of them can partner up and buy out Underdog. You know, and I mean honestly, Gil had a Gil had the chance to be bigger than ESPN. I'm being honest. I, he would have been bigger than the TNT show because they do commercials. Gil's Arena don't do commercials. You know, find a way, find a way, um, and that's just keeping it true. I've like I said, I've gone to meetings knowing I wasn't going to take the deal, but I figured I'll never be able to get this experience elsewhere. So why not take the meeting? You know. So, but anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to running into Gil sometime this year. I know I will at a basketball game somehow, somewhere, and I'll introduce myself to him and move forward. Like for example, Gil created a network. Kwame Brown gets on the network, and he can own 100% of his show. Right? He can own 100% of his show, and Gil and Kwame can split the advertising dollars. Like, I don't understand how like people miss the boat, miss their calling. Kwame Brown, like, I understand that it's not true hate because they always talking. Well, I haven't been keeping up, so y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but they're talking as if like they quietly call each other. You know, like Gil, they talk about each other so intimately, and they're funny when they're talking about each other. I mean, they got to monetize that to the 100th power. You know, Muhammad Ali and 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 Joe Frazier did it 3 times. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather did it 1 time. Um, Boston and the Lakers do it every year. The Red Sox and the Yankees do it every year. They sell out. You know, um, the Dodgers and the Giants do it every year. You know, the rivals go on and on. So um, you can live in Atlanta, he can live in LA, and y'all can say you hate each other and split the advertising dollars. You know, I wish I can talk to both of them. Y'all send this to Kwame Brown, y'all send this to Gil's Arena, because I ain't gonna lie, I haven't listened to Kwame Brown in a long time, but what they got is special. And they literally can feed their families. They can be like Michael Jordan and the Jordan brand. And I think Gil has that unique talent. He's rare. I don't think y'all fully understand about creating content. He is rare. He is one of the rares of the rares. He's so rare that when he talks bad about you, the other person laughs and doesn't want to fight him. That's how rare he is. Y'all go ahead and have a good day, man. This is just my take on it, man. I want Gil's Arena 4 days a week, just like everybody else, man. You know, so, but anyways, man, y'all go ahead and have a great day. And y'all send this to him. I'm gone.